Ghana officially welcomed the African Trade Insurance Agency into its market on the 18th of February 2020. This was after it signed an agreement with the agency to be a member of the group in October 2019, with shareholding valued at $17.6 million that was provided with the support of KfW through the German government. ATI is a multilateral and pan-African institution that provides insurance guarantees which helps its African member governments to attract investments and spur trade with increased access to credit. In 2019, ATI insured transactions across Africa valued at $6.4 billion and expects to insure much of its current pipeline of transactions in Ghana at a value of $1.2 billion. As part of its plans, the ATI intends to support Ghana in key areas of its economy, such as trade, banking and finance, and the energy sector. For the banking sector, the institution will support Ghanaian banks by providing access to credit insurance that will act as much-needed collateral. This will in turn allow local banks to be able to lend more to local corporates and ultimately help generate more jobs in the economy, while also strengthening the competitiveness of local banks and boosting private sector growth. However, for the country to benefit fully in the area of energy, the Chief Executive Officer of the African Trade Insurance Agency, John Letain, wants the government of Ghana to expedite the signing of the Regional Liquidity Support Facility to help private investors access funds for their activities. He spoke to Citi Business News at the launch of the African Trade Insurance Agency in Accra.
So probably the biggest challenge for most countries in the power sector is the risk, the perceived risk or even the real risk of the default of the off-taker. And that's a major concern for investors wanting to make long-term institutional investments into the power sector. So if you're investing as a private sector investor building a power plant in Ghana, your major concern is going to be, am I going to get paid under my offtake agreement? The liquidity facility enables effectively an on-demand guarantee against the risk of the off-taker. It's unusual because you can get partial risk guarantees possibly from institutions like the African Development Bank and the World Bank, but generally they will require the Ministry of Finance to directly indemnify that. For the RLSF, we don't actually require that direct counter-indemnity. So it's a slightly different product, and we think it's very useful for slightly smaller sized, sub-50 megawatt green energy facilities. So we strongly encourage the Ghanaian government to sign up to that.
The Minister of Planning, Professor George Jan Bafo, who acknowledged the initiative, is hopeful it will assist governments in attaining the SDGs swiftly.
The projects themselves must be well thought through. They have to be very viable projects that have actually gone through all the processes. You see, you don't go in to do they won't come and insure a project which down the road there will be difficulty. They won't do that. I don't want to go back on some of these projects, but there have been some projects in this country that have become problematic when after they've been and the insurance companies. I think MEGA had a difficulty with something like that. So really, it is not that every project that you come in and it's not a very useful project, and you know very well that there's no transparency in the process and things like that. They may not probably come and to insure it for you. So that actually also gives a challenge to governments to come out with projects that that can stand the test of time, and that is actually very transparent in their development and very feasible.
The Regional Liquidity Support Facility is a facility created to help tackle climate change by supporting renewable energy projects in the ATI's member countries.